Good morning, Srivatsan sir.
Good morning. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir. You want to check the screen sharing also? You can just
Yes, just give me one
check.
moment. I hope my screen is visible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
So much. Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is Srivatsan from Jamboree Education.
We'll start in 10:05. Srivatsan sir, we'll wait for
Sure.
5 more minutes for
Just give me
students to
the
join.
clue and we'll get it started.
Yeah, I will begin.
All right.
I will introduce so that you can begin.
Sure.
Good morning, principal, in charges, dear students. Thank you for joining on time for the session. Here we have Mr. Srivachan from Jamboree. So, who will be briefing about the admission process in abroad. So, sir, have a vast experience in this field, and we are in association with Jamboree. We are known to the Jamboree organization for the past 7 to 8 years. Many children from Velamal organization have got benefited. So we want you to understand and take a free flow to get your clear doubts cleared in the chat box at the end of the session. Kindly make use of the session and wishing you all the very best. Srivashan sir, please you can proceed with your session.
Thank you. Good morning to one and all. I will give you all the basic details and what we can offer you in terms of our career guidance in pursuing an undergrad education abroad. If you have doubts at any point, please do feel free to type in the chat box, and I will try to answer them as much as possible. So before I start, a little bit about Jamboree. We've been here since 1993, and we've been training students in study abroad programs, be it MBA, MIM programs for corporates and entry-level professionals and college students for GMAT, or for master's program, doing their masters in any engineering, non-engineering, arts fields, science fields, liberal arts and sciences program to take their GRE. And we have also trained a lot of students, including people at Belamal, for their undergrad studies abroad, be it Singapore or be it UK or be it United States, Canada, to give their SATs. Of course, the language tests comes in handy. The IELTS or the TOEFL is a language test, which is a mandatory test. Over the past few years, since the pandemic set in, there have been a lot of colleges in the US and UK which said we are waiving off the SAT program, we are waiving off the GRE program, etc. But now they have all reversed courses. So the first lesson I want to give you kids out there today is most of the colleges, including the California education system, the California school system, University of Texas, Austin, and almost 5 Ivy League schools have reversed path, and SAT is now a mandatory requirement to get admissions into these top schools. So one of the common questions we get asked around even before we start a session is, can I just take the IELTS or the TOEFL, or is it enough if I take the IELTS or TOEFL? See, IELTS or TOEFL is just to test your everyday language skills. Can you survive in that land? Can you understand their way of speaking? Can you listen to them? Can you talk back to them? Can you converse with them? And so on. So while the IELTS or TOEFL is a mandatory language test for people who have not been in an English-speaking country such as ours, SAT is now a mandatory thing. And Jamboree has extensive experience in admissions processes. We start from course options, shortlisting, to university shortlisting, to writing the essays, to writing the letters of recommendation, guiding the kids as to who to get the recommendations from, what is to be given in the recommendations, and so on. Plus, we also help them with their university interviews. Some of the universities do have an interview process. We also help them with visa interview guidance. We help them with departure orientation. We help them with financing options through our partners and etc. So long story short, we are a one single stop shop for study abroad education. So that's the brief about us. So let's get going. So some of the popular undergraduate study destinations are on screen for you. Right at the outset, Germany is a little tricky because you need to know the language. So you need to do German language certifications if you want to get to Germany. The other thing I want to tell you is Singapore. Singapore focuses heavily on academics. Whereas if you take United States, Canada, Ireland, UK, and other places, they give a lot of weightage on the profile. I will be touching base on what the profile is and what the SAT is in a brief while. So even if a student says, I am not the topper in class. I am not that, top 10 percentile student. I am one of those students who's packed in the middle of the class. I think some of you will be there. Like, I am not the top 10 percentile. I'm not the bottom 25 either. I'm somewhere in the middle. So for those students, if you have a good profile, it will spruce up your overall profile, and you will be able to get to colleges. I will be showing you some of the results that we've got this year and over the past several years. But Singapore focuses only on academics. So 90% plus in your 9th, 10th, 11th, and predicted 12th. Why do I say predicted 12th? Because if a person is graduating in the month of May of say 2025, then that person will have to apply in November or December of 2024. So when that student applies, that student would not have finished their 12th grade. So the school and the school's counselors have to give a certificate stating that this is the predicted score that we would expect of the student. So based on the consistency and the scores of the 9th, 10th, 11th, and predicted 12th, you will get a conditional admit. Once you get the board exam results of your 12th grade and you have the certificate that says that yes, you have graduated high school, then that conditional admit becomes a confirmed admit. So if you're looking at Germany, you need German language certification. Some undergraduate programs may also involve a little German. So A1, A2 certifications, and then there's something called ACS certification that you have to get. So German is, that part of it is tricky. France, eventually you will have to learn the language, but you can live through it. Singapore is only academics, but we're going to focus on the other people. UK, Canada, the big brother, the United States, Ireland. So where they look at the entire profile, they don't look at only your scores. So they will look at other things also. So these are your destinations, and we've listed some of the dream colleges here. Like for example, in Canada, you have University of British Columbia, you have University of Toronto, you have York University. United States, there are like hundreds and hundreds of colleges. We have listed some of the major ones, like the Ivy League ones: Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, Wharton, Cornell, Yale, Columbia. These are the Ivy League schools that have been listed here. Stanford is also one of the top ranked colleges, but though it's not in the Ivy League, MIT. And then you have the TU9, the technical universities in Germany. You have NTU, NUS, SMU in Singapore. And yes, if you are wondering why we have listed India here, another piece of career guidance to you guys is SAT is also accepted by a lot of Indian schools like Ashoka, Kriya, Plaksha. There are a lot of liberal arts science schools, SNU, Shiv Nadar University. All these schools do accept the SATs for their undergrad programs. So it's not that you are only here as career guidance only for abroad education, but this also helps you, right? So these are some of our latest admissions that we've got the past year. In 2023, these kids will start college imminently. So this is just a nutshell. Our website, jamboreeindia.com, has all the detailed lists of the undergraduate admissions that we have. So we focus on the first part. We want that 50% of our students who have received scholarships to increase. That's what we want. Because I know that for a fact, studying abroad is going to bring in a lot of challenges, especially in terms of finance. So we want to get to that. That is what we have tailor-made it. So if you are looking at the university assessment criteria, getting an SAT score alone is not going to help. There is another exam called ACT, which is also like the SAT. You can give the SAT exam also, but we focus, SAT is more popular and more accepted. So this is the overall chart. Some of you, if you're really interested, you can take a screenshot of this if you want. So what the first thing that they will look at is your school grades, obviously. So one of the things, if there are any of you here in 8th grade or 9th grade, you should know that consistency is key. You just cannot say, I will do brilliantly in my 10th board exams, get the group of my choice in 11th, then I'll take it easy. Then 12th grade, anyways, I have my college admissions to come through. I'll do really well in my college. That's not going to work out. You need to show consistency. So your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grades, predicted 12th have to be on point. And if you say you're going to apply to a college abroad, then you will have to show depth of course interest. Like when did this start? How did this program start? Etc. Right? So if you show that depth of course interest and tell them that you will uh, you were preparing for this for a long time, and what all can you do here? There's something called a capstone project, which we can take up in our next session in detail as to what a capstone project is and how does it help you. You can do internships, you can participate in competitions, online competitions, offline competitions, etc. Right? You can showcase your creativity. You can do design projects, you can do art and crafts, performing arts, music, playing an instrument, practicing a dance form, or something like, designing an app or designing some sort of a instrument or something that gives you a patent, basic things like helping, water drain off more quickly, or a cutting board that helps, uh, accumulate all the waste by the side. There's something called Cupboard Pro. A fallen New York firefighter brought this out. So something like that. Literature, you can do blogging, you can write poetry, you can write general blogs, or you can write movie reviews, you can write reviews on sports. Leadership positions can also not only mean school and sports positions, it can also mean that you may be in 10th grade or you may be in 9th grade. You can teach students around your locality. I know what some of you are saying, I'm in a boarding school. You can set up this project at your home and you can speak with your school. You can, take time out. You can go and teach them. You can do summer teaching programs, or even in your own school. If you think you can understand a subject really well, there will be kids who think like, how do I solve this question or so? You can have a peer, support group where 10 of you, you are the leader, you bring in 10 people and you read amongst yourselves, cross read, share resources and so on. We back in school 20, 30 years ago, we set up a library. Each one of us brought books from school and from our homes, and we used to keep it in class. And during our English hour, we will come there and we will pick a book that we love to read. And then we will write our name in the record that this person has taken this book. And then the books keep rotating, books keep getting added on. And every once in a while, we'll have a book report class. Like one of us who studied a book, who wants to talk about that book, what we learned from the book. Talk about the book doesn't mean that you're only talking about the book that's spoiling the book. I'm not asking a person to tell the story. Maybe something that helped you, get some idea about life as a whole or something like that. I did it with Count of Monte Cristo. Right. I did it with Count of Monte Cristo, where I talked about what inspired me from there. So those things can be done. Community projects, community internships. I know a lot of you cannot check all the boxes, but try to check as many boxes as you can. So any questions at this point? Anybody, any questions? You please type in the chat box. Any questions, anybody? No questions? So if you check, this is what we at Jamboree do. We actually get to give a psychometric test to the student who's really, really interested in building a profile. And we will try to develop a customized roadmap. I'm coming to that question, yes. And we will give that person guidance on what subjects to choose, what the minimum grades those colleges will look at, what summer program application support we can give. You have Cornell summer program, you have Harvard summer program, etc. We will guide you, but yes, you can look it up in the internet also. And we will also conduct workshops. And some of you might be thinking, I'm in high school, why is this person talking about PhD? In the US and UK and all, you can do a PhD directly after your 12th grade. So 6 years. So we will help you with all this. So we will not only be doing SAT classes, we are also here to help you spruce up your profile, create a digital footprint for you. Some of you may not have a good social media profile. Good LinkedIn profile is required, not just Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So we would help create that for you. And of course, we will not take classes for your AP test selection, but we will help you with it. We'll help you give that. AP is advanced placement. Some of you will have to take the APs just to show them the depth of course interest. And you will also be able to get extra credits. You can trade it in for credits. So if in case you are spending, X rupees here, you will be able to save that in dollars. So that is also something we do. So these are the things that we do. So before the application, these are the things that we are trying to encourage in our students. We are trying to build each student's USP. We're trying to figure out, okay, what is the student all about? And why all this we are trying to do is, like I said, it's not easy to study abroad. It's a lot costlier. So we want to maximize the potential for a scholarship. So that is the reason why we are doing this. So, and each person will require some sort of a guidance with respect to how to pick a profile and how to pick a course. Some of you may be confused. So we want to showcase your skills and we want to maximize your potential. And we would love to get involved with you through projects and internships to help you go with this. And for those people who go through this journey with us, we have a personal counselor and a personal mentor who will be in touch with them and their parents weekly, monthly, bi-monthly to help them understand, okay, this is what we are trying to do. This is what we're trying to get at. So this is the application, before application part, and this is what we do during the application. So one of the key things that people have to understand is do not wait till the last moment to apply. So we will try to apply beforehand so that the chances of applications are getting accepted are really high. And we will also make sure that we don't talk about a scholarship while we are applying, because most of the universities don't want an offer of scholarship right away. So we will help them with that. So this is what we are trying to do during the application, and we help you with that. Now, that being said, what exactly is the SAT going to look at? So this is what we were trying to tell you so far, right? So we will be helping you in all of these things. Now coming to the main issue of what the SAT is. So quick show of hands. Has anybody in this group already given the SAT or has, knows about the SAT or anything of that sort? Anybody who's already given the SAT or anything? No? Okay. So the SATs, we used to call it a scholastic aptitude test, but right now we've just let go of that and we've only talked about it as SATs. So it actually helps you test your analytical reasoning skills, critical reasoning to talk about. And the syllabi is just 10th and 9th or 8th grade math only. The overall academics will help. It will not be only the languages, but foreign languages will add. And this is not comparable to any of your other exams that you are talking about, because this is not a technical exam. This is not an exam where you have physics or chemistry or biology or anything. This is a standardized test because each person has a different board that they come from. Each person has a different attitude from where they come from. So some of the attitudes will come to know here, whether you are over smart or whether you're smart, whether you're faking it and so on, right? Even now I see that there will be a lot of people who are not interested in this or whatever it is, right? So it really shows off. So what is the one benefit of giving the SAT is there will be people who are in the matriculation board or who are in the CBSE board or IB board or IGCSE and so on. So if the resume is all about different subjects, some of you may be in the commerce stream, some of you may be in the art stream, some of you may be in the science stream and so on. So how does a school consider these people's score? So the SAT is the standardized component in your resume. There is no full form at all right away. It used to be called the Scholastic Aptitude Test, but right now it's just called the SATs. There's no expansion at all, right? And if in case you guys have been listening to what I've been saying so far, you would realize that it's one part of the overall thing. What all did we discuss today, right? We have discussed that they look at the SAT, but they also look at other things, right? And everything put together will be considered for the scholarship. That's what I've been talking about so far. The scholarship level is dependent on not only the SAT score, but it's also dependent on all the other things that I've just discussed in the last half hour. And the SAT scores are valid for 5 years. So you can give it off in the 10th. You can start your preparation in the 9th, give it off in the 10th, and you can say, now I can focus on my profile. I will give the IELTS or TOEFL in my 12th grade and I'll keep going. Or you can say, I will first build my profile in 9th and 10th grades. I'll give the SAT in the 11th grade and I'm done. Right? And they are conducted 7 times in a year. So you can decide. So it's valid for 5 years. So maximum, you can give it off in the 10th grade max before the 10th grade starts itself, so that you know. 8th is a bit too early, right? And there's one question on the chat screen asking about a university in Japan. There is a reason why we never considered Japan or Korea or China, because the courses taught there at the undergraduate level are in the local language, which I don't think a lot of you know, right? So this is the number of times the SAT is conducted, and it's a fully computerized test. So you need to have your laptops or your tablets or your PCs. In College Board, the website that gives the SAT, you will be given the list of proper laptops that you are allowed. So you must practice on your laptop so that you will know this, right? So because the SAT, like I said, is valid for 5 years, you can choose when you want to start off. It can be any laptop. It can be an iOS thing or a Windows, but you should just check on the College Board website, and don't worry, Jamboree will anyways guide you. And also when we tell you about the software to be installed to practice via the College Board app, they will themselves tell you whether this laptop is right or wrong. So they will tell you that. So there will be no negative markings, but it's a module adaptive test. So if you check carefully, the difficulty level should increase. One module, if you do really well, the second module will be more tougher. So if the second module of the verbal is not tough, that means you have not done really well, right? So that is something that you need to know. And I think some of you are trying to hack the meeting. Others, please do not respond. respond to it kindly. It's okay. I think some of them are just trying to hack the meeting. Just don't worry about it. I just want the guys who are listening to come through. So the SAT is out of 1,600 points. 800 will come from math and 800 will come from verbal. And the SAT score should be above 1450 if in case you want to go. And like I said in the beginning of the meeting, you can be an average student, you can be a below average student. All these are subjective. So the Western universities don't look at your scores per se as I got 85% or he got 90% or like that. They will look at consistency of grades from 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, where you stand in your class. If your class highest itself is 75% and you are 74%, you are not an average student. If your school first mark itself is 90% only and you are 82%, then that's okay. But if the top 10 students in your class are 96% and you are 74, then that's a problem. But a not so solid school score can be compensated by a very high SAT score and a good profile around. And when do I start with this? It depends. See, some students, because the SAT is valid for 5 years, they finish it off before they start their 10th grade. They give it exactly in their 10th grade year, so that they have 10, 11, 12. Only 3 years they have, so it's valid for 5 years. So they can continue on with their school and their profile. Some people, like I said, will do their profile from 9th grade and 10th grade completely with whatever I told you, capstone project, research project, etc., etc. And then they give the SAT in their 11th grade. So it depends from person to person. I have seen people give the SAT in the 12th in that last 3 attempts, October, November, December. December is the deadline to apply. Some people will give it one more time in December just to see if they can get an extra score, extra 10 points, 20 points, whatever. So it really depends. But pushing it till 12th grade is a bit of a risk, right? And SAT is basically general English and math. Like I said, it's 10th grade, 9th grade math and English. It's nothing to do with technology. It's nothing to do with biology or science. It's not subject oriented. It's aptitude oriented, right? So to the other questions, like people are saying, like those questions with regards to your particular profile has to be taken up on a case by case basis. There cannot be a generalized answer, but I think I've given you a general answer, right? To the questions where when can I join or how does my aptitude count, etc. We know that. I've already answered you that. So to further answer, like what will the SAT exam structure consist of? I'll tell you one more time, it's only 9th and 10th grade math and English. Each of these sections will have 2 modules. So if you check carefully, you will have 27 questions in each module of the verbal, which is English, and you have 32 minutes for those. And you have 2 sections for quant or math, and you will have 22 questions in each. You have an inbuilt calculator that is given to you, and you can also bring your own calculator if you want. In collegeboard.com, they will give you the list of calculators that you can bring, and you can practice with that. And but it's always good to practice via a computer. You should have a computer. You must practice via the computer. It's completely computerized, so you have to be very careful. And like I said, if you do really well in the first module, the second module will be more tougher. And if it is extra tough in the second module compared to the first, that means you've done well. Otherwise, you have not done well, right? So, and we will give each student a personalized portal and a study plan, which you can go. Usually, you can attempt it as many times as you want, but not more than 3. 2 is the max. 3 is a little bit of a stretch. So not more than that. All the questions are multiple choice questions only. Every question will have the 4 options, right? And all you have a 25% chance of getting the question right. So couple of things that we usually tell, certain things I've already told you that you must practice on screen. And we've already in our Jamboree portal for our students, we have over 90 practice tests, full length tests, sectional tests, etc. We do have a couple of adaptive tests also. So once the classes are over, we'll give you a study plan and then we will help you with the registration. We will help you with the post class because the previous time we did this with Velamal, we were even there in the exam center on that day, right? So these are all computerized, internationally acclaimed standardized tests. These are all not your technical tests or anything. It requires a broader mind and a lot of attitude, good positive attitude, and a lot of patience, right? So that is something that you have to. So please do not compare it with any of the regular exams. Please do not do that. And as far as proper questions with respect to your profile, we do give a free profile evaluation session. You can contact your school coordinator and get in touch with us. We will tell you how it is. But we will be able to help you as to how to get through the SATs. And there's no, I am not eligible or something. There's no eligibility at all. We will help you. We will first start with the classes. We will take you through the concepts. We will give you sectional tests, mock tests. So how to take up the SAT, we will start with concept building. Then we will help you master the concepts, right? And we will help you with time management with our practice tests. Then we will try to get your focus in order with the help of our sectional tests, and full length tests will be given. And we do have 2 adaptive tests on our own with our question bank to help you with the full length tests also. Okay. So these are the things that we actually do. So what are the pointers that we are going to take from today's session is that the SAT can be given at any point from your 10th grade onwards. It's valid for 5 years. It's a completely computerized exam, and you can take up the classes as a weekend class. We do have 12 weeks of classes, and we will help you from start to end. And yeah, that's about it that I can show. So if any of you have any legitimate proper questions, do let us know. I think I've fairly covered everything as to what Jamboree offers, what the SAT is all about, what the universities expect of you, and what you can do. Some of you have given us questions on your specific criteria that we can take up through your school counselors. And I've also talked about why the SAT is preferred and everything. So I think this, if this meeting is not recorded, you can get back to us later. I have already given you the total scores and everything for that. So that's it from my end. I thank some of you who have been very patient with the entire meeting. Thanks, Hemlata ma'am, for arranging the meeting. If there's any questions, please let us know. So all the details on how the classes are going to happen, etc., will be given to you by your school. They will be the point of contact, and they will let you guys know about it. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srivasan from Jamboree. So it was really a eye-opening session for the children who are looking for the higher studies in the abroad. So I believe that the children queries have been started, the general information, everything have been covered from Sir's session. Still, children, if you have any session, any particular query you have to ask also, you can text in the chat box, or you can show your hand icon so that I can unmute you, so that you can interact with the sir.
and we will share the email ID also, so that you can pass on your queries, which will helpful for you. We will be following with you. And for admission into this course, you have to approach your principal and the career coordinator of your school. That will also be from the school. You'll get a circular regarding the same. So, sir, I'll unmute one or two children who want to interact with you.
Just before that, I've seen a few questions here and there.
Yeah, I can go ahead with the.
There's questions specifically on Canada or specifically on Australia and so on. So there are two answers here. Some of the countries, I think Australia does not require an SAT or anything. But the point is, you have to decide on your course first, and then you'll have to look at the profile and then see which country has those, and then you go to that. So most of these things are SAT only, but yes, and if you're going abroad, it's not just you're going to do engineering or something. You can do liberal arts sciences, economics, law, accounting, you can do journalism, you can do music, arts, whatever it is, right? So, and to answer the repeat questions, I'll tell you one more time that there's no qualification criteria officially, but a good SAT score is anything in excess of 1470. Okay. And the SAT is a standardized exam. So we will be giving you practice exams, etc. So don't worry about it. So any other real questions, please let us know. Any real questions? The SAT is just an entry level criteria. So it's not for any specific course. You can do just about anything in the world after giving the SAT. SAT is just to get you abroad. That's all.
Darshini, you can proceed with your question.
Yes, ma'am. Like my aim is to become a doctor, sir. So I opted NEET in Villamar. So can I pursue my doctor in abroad?
Studying a doctor program in the US is extremely difficult because you are going to ask for a non-immigrant visa. So if you say you're going to become a doctor, that essentially seals the deal that you're not going to come back again. So if you want to do a doctor program, so basically you can apply for bachelor's in public health or bachelor's in some biological sciences, molecular biology or something like that. Go there, settle down, and then you start. And then you have to give the MCAT or something in the US. You do that while you are in college, get qualified, and then you get into that path. Otherwise, starting from here, you will not be able to get. Okay. I hope that answered your question, because if you think that becoming a doctor in India is tough, it's equally, if not more tough in the US. So I would, and we know this for a fact that getting a visa is very, very difficult, next to zero. So to answer your question, you can apply for bachelor's in biological sciences or something like that. Go there and then start the process. And with respect to specific courses and all, please give your resume to your school counselor or school principal, and we can get our admissions counselor to talk to you and your parents. We definitely would want your parents along with you. So this is only for the study abroad program. So any other questions?
Jai Pradeep, you can proceed with your question.
Sir,
Yes.
in all foreign university, consider only of liberal arts. Is it true?
They have all different programs. They have liberal arts sciences, they have engineering, they have law, they have business, they have journalism, they have music, everything is there. It just depends on what you want and what matches your profile and how to go about it.
They are the,
All the other
yeah,
things
but
that
in
you
some
hear in
university
the
like
internet
Harvard.
is hogwash. Go ahead.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Again, SAT is just the qualifying exam. Some of you have asking me like, what are the best universities? And SAT is not a college. SAT is an exam. So to all those people who are asking like, do I get this? Do I get that? Do I get this? Do I get that? That depends. Everybody wants to become everything, right? But it depends on what your profile is and what you're going to become. So that's not an answer that can be given in like 1 minute.
Rahul, you can ask a question.
Which is the best university for that now?
Come again? Can you repeat your question, Rahul?
Jay Aditya, you can ask a question.
Hello, sir. This is
Yes.
JRPR. So,
Hi.
like for other universities, does only like SAT scores include or any other qualifications such as like talent or like physical health skills? Do they also include
Like
for
I
other
said,
institutions?
SAT scores are the entry criteria, one of the entry criteria. Of course, they will look at your academics, they will look at your general profile, and they will have interviews in some cases before they decide whether they want to give you an offer or not. And only then they will get. Because the fact is that each person is in a different school, each person studies a different subject, each person studies in a different board. The SAT is used as the benchmark as a common point of reference, which considers general aptitude. And then based on that, they keep building it up. Okay, now what have you studied? Like I said, depth of course interest. What have you studied? How much have you studied? And so on, and they'll keep building on that.
Thank you, sir.
Santosh, proceed with your question.
Kavya, don't worry about the full length test. Jamboree's portal will have full length test. And we will incorporate College Board, the official website of the SAT, their full length tests also. So like I showed on screen, we will be building from the concepts to the full length test and the testing stage slowly. So don't worry.
Sir,
Yes, Santosh, go ahead.
sir, from today onwards, online classes there, sir.
The schedule of the classes, the enrollments, the fee structures, etc., will be provided to you by your school management.
Still which date, sir?
And once all the modalities are set up, then you will know when the classes start and how to go about it.
No, sir, not the June 10 is reopening, sir.
We don't know any information about
Yeah,
that.
Santosh, we will share, we will give you details about the courses starting. Okay, this is just a
Okay, sir.
briefing
When is
session,
the
Santosh.
online
Okay.
class ending, sir?
Yeah, your principal will be briefing about it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
As I am talking with you people, one of your alumni from the Velamal Pancheti campus has just gotten into Boston University for information systems. I just got word. Hemlata ma'am, Srivatsan Samraj from your Velamal Pancheti campus has gotten his admit from Boston University for Masters in Computer and Information Systems.
That's great, sir. Very happy to hear from you. Thank you for sharing the
Just
message.
now, live, he's just
Great.
texted
Thank
me.
you so much. Thank you so much. Please text me, share me the message.
Yes,
Sure. Thank you so much.
thank you.
So
I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Srivatsan and the team for the efforts that are your valuable time, and as usual, your briefing in depth for the children to enlighten them about their higher education in abroad. So we will be working together, looking for a longer term venture, sir. So thank you so much for
Looking
joining us.
forward.
And children, you can share all your queries. I'll text the email ID in the chat box, so you can forward it so that we can get in touch
Yeah,
with
just
sir.
give me 24 hours time. I will definitely get back to you.
Yeah, sure. So we will definitely share with you. So all your queries can be directed to this particular email ID. I forward it to you. So the feedback and the queries, and if you are willing to enroll also, please share your school name, your name and the class mentioned or the contact number, so that our coordinator will be in touch with you and will ensure that you will enroll and you will get benefit out of this. Thank you, students, principal, parents, and the coordinators and the Jamboree team for making this session a successful one. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
With your
ma'am.
permission, I end up this meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.